How do you feel about $19 silver? I don't know about you, but for me, sometimes I look at it and I think, well, that's not so bad, right? It could be 14, 13, 11, 16, whatever. But we all know and feel, I think, that it could also be a lot higher. I don't know how you feel about that, but maybe $27, $30 per ounce would be a more fair price for silver. And isn't it interesting that when you factor in the premiums that are being charged right now for physical silver, that the price more closely reflects that level, somewhere in the mid-20s, maybe even a little higher. In this video, let's talk about some factors going on in the silver market which would indicate that the price should be much higher. Now, I'm going to warn you, we're going to talk about gold too, because gold and silver, they're kind of like cousins, right? They're not, or brothers and sisters, or cousins, however you want to say it. They're closely related, kind of like you and I here in Ron's basement. By the way, thank you for joining me. If you get any value or maybe some entertainment out of my video, please subscribe right here. Now let's get on with the video. And think about this, guys, $19 spot price for silver. If that was really the free market price, the supply-demand dynamics would make sure that there's plenty of supply at $19. Now, that's not the case, right? So the argument can be made that right now, the spot price at 19, it should be more like 25, 26, which is what retail investors are having to pay to acquire any physical silver. Because in any healthy market, supply and demand adjusts the price to a point where there's adequate supply to meet demand. And that's not happening within the silver market. We've got this convoluted paper market that's distorting everything and creating shortages, which blatantly indicates the price should be higher. And big money is buying silver and gold. That is a fact. I mean, as a matter of fact, the Central Bank of China acquired 80 tons, a record of gold alone in the month of July. And what about what Russia and China are doing, starting a new reserve currency that will be based on gold? There was a Fox News article about that alone. Big money, central banks, wealthy investors are acquiring the metals, silver and gold. And we know that because the people that follow the COMEX and the Lbma, those big electronic paper exchanges where they have the unicorn, fart dust, silver and gold, those vaults for the Lbma and the COMEX, they are being drained. And the people that know what's going on say it's big money taking delivery off the exchanges, and they're manipulating the price lower so they can take delivery of that metal at a much lower price. At least that's the theory that I'm hearing floated around on a regular basis. Let me know what you think about that below. Heck, the Lbma, when the silver squeeze hit back in February a few years back, they had 120 million ounces in their reserves. That number is now approaching 30 million ounces, 25% of what they had during the silver squeeze. And have you heard there's big physical deliveries coming out of the SLV ETF? Again, that big paper traded ETF where if you're a big player, you can actually apparently request physical delivery of the metal. And people are saying, right, the people that follow this, that understand this and follow it super closely, that big money investors are taking delivery off the SLV ETF. Again, let me know in the comment section below, what are your thoughts on this? Because your thoughts do matter. It's also very interesting for us to recognize that the big commercial banks are also now net long on the metals. That's an unusual circumstance, and usually their position proves profitable. And when it comes to gold, right, the big brother of silver or the first cousin, We know the big central banks, the financial authorities of the world, are acquiring gold at a breakneck pace. In the third quarter alone, they acquired 400 tons of physical gold, 3 times what they did last year in the third quarter. Year to date, January through September, they've acquired 673 tons of gold. That number for the first 9 months is bigger than any total year until you go all the way back to 1967. What is that telling us? Let's talk about me and you, the average everyday investor, right? We're not some big world central bank, but we make a difference as well. As a matter of fact, Wall Street Silver, the community of die-hard silver stackers, of which I am a member, you may be as well, we number now 228,000 people. Even the small guys, the average guys like me and you, can make a big, big difference in the silver market. And we know what we're doing, but when we look at the actions of the big, big money, the wealthy investors, the big central banks, that tells us that the current price absolutely does not reflect the true supply-demand dynamics within the silver, and for that matter, gold market as well. Maybe we are fastly approaching an event or a real squeeze in the metals markets. Wouldn't that be fun? We need some good news. We have suffered for the last 2 years. We deserve some good news. Big party here in Ron's basement. Don't forget, I'll be here for you through it all. If you enjoy my content, look for the little bell. Press the bell. That way you'll get notified every time I put out a new video. Most important, until next time, take care. I'll see you soon.